That's right, folks. You're tuned in here on NBC Deportes. It is round 12 of the OXXO JordiCar series. We are here on the hallowed grounds of Long Beach for the Acura Grand Prix of Long Beach here in California. Wonderful street course, one of the most legendary street courses in racing. And today the JordiCar roster will take to these streets in pursuit of victory. Let's take a look at the starting grid, shall we? Jack Carroll for Penske Racing is on pole ahead of just a bro moment in the Ferrari. Row 2 rather. We got fifth gear, his best qualifying of the year beside Niarel. Real KDY and Momento round out row 3. Then we got the Juncos of Alejandro Garcia and Paul Merchant. Not doing too well today. He's on row 4. There's Sean Franchitti, our points leader. The Juncos of Joseph Marks and Naran O'Neill round out row 5. Then we have the other Ferrari of Robbie McIntyre and rookie and race winner this year, Kink Demon. Cesar Cohen from McLaren rounds out row 7 with Nicky Tofu for Andretti. Then we have Miguel Marquez and Etienne Jones rounding out row 8. In row 9, we got the Trackhouse of Palo Season with Sonoda fan. Not a good quality for Trackhouse because we got George Brown rounding out row 10 with the number 5 McLaren of Dan Friens. 1 light, 2 light, 3 light, 4, 5, and lights are out. Away we go. Jack Carroll jumps into an early lead, but it looks like fifth gear using his push to pass early. He's going to try and make a beeline for the lead. He's going to try and get down the inside through the fountain section, but it's not going to work. Jack Carroll maintains the lead. 3 wide for P2. Who's going to come out on top? Fifth gear manages to hold on to P2, for now at least. If we look through the field, we'll see that a good number of drivers have started on the soft tire as they come through that final turn, that final sharp hairpin, and they come down the main straight. It's Jack Carroll for Penske Racing. Niarel goes around the outside of fifth gear for P2, and now Momento for APX trying to take that podium spot. Look at Sean Franchitti. What an amazing start for him as he goes round the outside of Momento. Amazing overtake, but is he going to make it stick? Yes, he does. Amazing moves from our points leader, and it looks like he's not done there. Fifth gear's car is smoking, folks. He has mad damage as the two Ganassi cars go side by side, trying their best not to put each other into the wall as fifth gear comes into the pits for damage. Momento's not going to give up though, folks. He's going to try and go around the outside into turn 1. He's going to try and make it stick through the fountain. He makes contact with the wall, and now his car is smoking. We have a lot of cars with damage early on, folks. We're only at lap 3 of 20. But with all this battling going on, it's allowing the two leaders of Niarel and Jack Carroll to pull away. We got a 5-way battle right now. The rookie, Kink Demon, trying to make the most of it. But it appears as though he too has damage. Are they all going to flock into the pits? Yes, they are, except for Real KDY. He's betrayed all of them. He's still on mediums, so he's going to try and go along. It's interesting to see how that will work. I'm interested to see how that will work, rather. We focus on the back of the pack. We got your boy fifth gear. He came out in a pretty respectable P7. Jack Carroll has not had to do much wheel-to-wheel racing, and as a result, he has not been in any walls today, which means he's had a very calm and easy first stint. He comes into the pits with Niarel. There he goes. He's exiting the pits now. Real KDY on his mediums is going to filter out into the lead. Cesar Cohen for McLaren is going to come back around. He's also on the medium tire, as is the smoking Juncos of Alejandro Garcia. But now that the pit cycle, at least the first pit cycle, is mostly complete, we'll see that fifth gear has made up quite a lot of time from pitting early. The undercut has seemingly worked, and now he is in a net P2 as Jack Carroll gets around the outside of the number 6 McLaren. He comes into the pits along with all the other people that started on mediums, rather. Look at the rookie Kink Demon. I tell you what, folks, Kink Demon has really found his legs in the OXXO JordiCar series. It wasn't the best start for him, but we saw the progress as he takes P2 from fifth gear and Niarel in amazing fashion. It's now a Penske 1-2. Penske has seemingly found a lot of speed, you know, folks, because I remember Jack Carroll, he had a couple victories, couple podiums early this season, but Kink Demon's rise has really... Oh dear, that was not a good pit entry at all. I don't know who that was, but They've lost a lot of time there. I'm going to have to go back into the replays to check that one out. But that was a terrible, terrible pit entry. But going back to King Demon, he had a terrible, terrible debut. People were wondering where this guy came from, what he was doing in the sport. But we've seen the growth, and this is just proof that we need to give rookies time to develop. Because King Demon is slowly but surely becoming one of the top drivers in JordiCar as he comes into the pits right now for his second stop of the race. Jack Carroll has an absolute stranglehold on the race lead. I feel like he has led every lap. No, he hasn't. Never mind. He did not lead every lap because there were people on alternate strategies that took over for him. I think Real KDY led a lap already, now that I remember it. Sean Franchitti, our championship leader, all the way down in P11. That's not good. Especially not with guys like Alejandro Garcia lurking around. We know he's been a force to be reckoned with in that Juncos. Yeah? Sean Franchitti can't afford to have bad days. He used to have a large points lead. But as we've seen over the past few weeks, it's been coming down as, again, the fountain turn seems to be a problem for people. We've seen a lot of people make contact with the wall around there, especially going side by side. Seems as though drivers are going to have to go single file. What a double overtake by King Demon! Amazing moves by the rookie. He is now into P3. That's what I'm talking about though, folks. King Demon is slowly becoming one of the elite talents in JordiCar. Is he going to be a championship contender next year at this rate? His rate of improvement has been nothing short of amazing. But if that's to be cemented, he's going to have to take the victory away from his teammate Jack Carroll. And that doesn't look too likely right now. Jack Carroll has put down an absolute clinic here in California. An absolute whipping on the field. This has been an absolute masterclass of epic proportions by the Penske driver. Trying to go for another win to add to his JordiCar win tally. Jack Carroll has been a great driver this season. I won't lie to you folks. He's been a tad inconsistent though, and that's why you haven't seen his name at the top of the time, not the top of the time charts, at the top of the championship standings rather. You know what I'm saying? He hasn't been up there because he's had his fair share of honkers. But guys like Sean Franchitti, Alejandro Garcia, even, you know, Just a Bro moment to an extent, they have always been at the front. And that's why they are where they are in the championship. But who knows, folks? Maybe a late title charge is in order. For some people, it's impossible. But as we go back to the racetrack real quick, we see the smoking car of Real KDY trying to get around the outside of fifth gear. Is he going to make it stick? It doesn't matter because he's going into the pits. King Demon exits the pits here on lap 13. There's Niarel into P2. Fifth gear filters out into P3 in what is easily his best race of the season. You want to talk about frauds? He's been one, yeah? His teammate Sean Franchitti has been putting down classic after classic, pole after pole, but this seems to be the race where fifth gear has found his mojo. I don't think there's been a single race this season where he showed as much pace as he is right now. Will it continue though, or is this just a one-time thing? Is he a Long Beach merchant? Let's hope not. Fifth gear comes into the pits and he's going to exit the pits in fifth gear. Where'd he go? P8. Okay. That ain't bad. Anyways, folks, we move. The laps are winding down here on the streets of Long Beach. Again, said it before, I'm going to say it again. It's been an absolute classic by not just our race leader, Jack Carroll, but also the Penske of King Demon. It's been an absolute Penske domination. I'm telling y'all, man, Penske might be back, you know. Penske might actually be back. They had an absolute insane showing when King Demon got his first win not too long ago, and it seems as though they are trying to get themselves another 1-2. Look at this. He's just driving past them. Jack Carroll back to the lead after a pit stop. Way more pace than that of King Demon. who is smoking heavily, and that's going to allow Niarel to close the gap. Is the Penske 1-2 in danger of not being a 1-2 at all? Help me, NBC. Alright, so there goes King Demon into the pits for what I believe should be his last stop. I don't see him pitting again after this. He's going to come out the pits in a whopping P5. But he's on the softs, so can he use these softs to get back to where he needs to get back to in order to still secure this 1-2 for Penske Racing? Jack Carroll's lead remains under no threat. Niarel is in P2, fifth gear is in P3, but with Kink Demon on those softs, with not that many laps to go, are people gonna pit or are people gonna try and stretch it out to the end? There goes Alejandro Garcia. He moves past fifth gear. He's now into P3, but here comes Kink Demon. I was warning you. He puts fifth gear into the wall. Aggressive moves by the Indian driver. He puts fifth gear into the wall. He's now into P4. He's going to go right down the inside of Alejandro Garcia. Fifth gear has been absolutely mudded into the fountain turn. But it looks as though King Demon's going to use those softs. And he's going to make a beeline for P2. But the question is he going to catch Niarel in time? Or has he waited too late to show his real pace? Let's see how it goes, folks. But we can take nothing away from this man. The number 2 PPG Penske of Jack Carroll as he comes around the final corner. It's been an absolute masterclass by our race winner. Jack Carroll wins on the streets of Long Beach. Can Niarel, is he gonna be able to keep Kink Demon back? The traction on the final turn. Kink Demon saves the 1-2 for Penske. He saves the 1-2 for Penske. He beats Niarel right on the line. Speaking of right on the line, real KDY and fifth gear have a drag race to the line. Fifth gear comes out on top. He gets a P5. Terrible race for Sean Franchitti in P9. Nicky Tofu, he takes P10 after a pretty shoddy qualifying. Palo Season also recovers quite well. 1-2 for Penske Racing. What an absolute barn-burning classic. 8 seconds. Almost 9 seconds the gap. Probably the most dominant JordiCar win of the year? Is it safe to say? See, the 5 McLaren came last again, folks. I told y'all it wasn't my fault. Yeah, it wasn't me. But anyways, there you have it, folks. Another amazing JordiCar race. But I want to see the championship because, as you can see, less than 10 points the gap. Jack Carroll is making a beeline for this championship. It looked as though Sean Franchitti had it wrapped up, but now Sean Franchitti only has 8 points between himself and the Penske of Jack Carroll. Who is going to win season 11 of the OXXO JordiCar series? Because honestly, at this point, I can't tell you. Penske are on a run right now, folks. Penske are on a run. Can Sean Franchitti hold it back? Is this a Max Verstappen situation? Is Ganassi washed? Juncos have taken the lead of the Constructors' Championship. Finally, 740 points over Scuderia Ferrari. Then we have Chip Ganassi Racing in P3. Tune in to round 13 of the OXXO JordiCar series.